Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another layout update where we will see how I've been getting on with the recent updates. So guys, welcome back, and been about a week or so since I last did a video, and actually quite a lot has been going on with the layout. So we'll start with the small bits and end with the big bits. So over here, this hillside obviously was completely taken down to there, and this has now been rebuilt, and I've only literally started rust as the third layer on today, hence why you can still see a bit of white. Obviously I haven't got a point motor in here yet, hence why I've not covered this piece, but once I've got a point motor inside that hill, I will then obviously build that piece up with a bit of static grass. And this side I have put some dirt then from the garden dried out to look as though that literally that hillside used to go along there, but when they've come along to build the engine shed area, they've literally just done away and it looks a little bit more natural. I've also added some trees, which is actually smaller branches off the big tree that used to be on to cover the field yard, and we've put some bushes and some flowers down. Managed to knock over a man there, but we've also added a little figure that I've painted up to change the points, or it looks like it's changing the points, because this point will be operated manually for trains coming in. We've also got our water tower with its actual ladder. Don't know if you can see that because of the sunlight in the shadow. And obviously we have got our toll stage that we made that was previous in the hillside. And using some Will's brick sheeting, we've made a wall just to go along the back there with, again, some trees behind it. Sorry. And yeah, now in the last update, obviously we had just mountain board as an engine shed. Well, since then the Will's brick sheet has come, and as you can see, if you look at it from every angle, it's all been painted, weathered, and individual bricks picked out in different colours to give it that sort of weathered look. And obviously there is window, lintel across the door, a little windowsill, and there is actually glazing inside of this. In fact, I can show you. There's glazing inside of that, look, to represent the glass. Now obviously I haven't done any lights or the roof inside yet, because obviously I want to be able to detail inside of this. So West Hill Wiring Works is coming to the show. It's literally about 5 minutes away from my house in 2 weeks time, and they do lots of interior things for engine sheds and loco depots, so I'm going to get a load of shelves etc to go along the back. So when you look inside, like sort of like that, you'll be able to see there's actually stuff in the engine shed, and then I'll be able to build a roof and put lighting in there and everything. So that's actually turned out really well. Unfortunately my camera doesn't really pick it out. That's more of a better look. You can see that there is still red brick showing through, but this has had a mortar wash to go down between the bricks, then a grey wash, then a black wash, and I'm probably still going to do another layer of black wash over it to dirty it up a little bit. So that's, and obviously I have now painted the concrete base. It still needs weathering, obviously none of this is stuck down, so that's another thing left to do in that area. So nothing else really has gone on apart from adding little flowers here and there and static grass in little individual areas. I'm actually going to be changing this scene, I think. I found a chassis to an Oxford diecast trailer. I've taken the top off it, and I'm going to make an old silage trailer, which would actually represent the farm that I worked on quite some years ago now. It would represent the silage trailer that they had with their Massey, so that would be nice to recreate that little scene going over the bridge. Now, this isn't the only thing that I've been doing. I've been painting some figures, but I've also done a lot of electrics with the layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the layout around and show you what I've been doing. So here we are, guys, from the operating side of things, and that's how the layout looks from behind here. But as I said, I've been doing a lot of electrical side of things, and that is being building the switch panel. Just basic for now, but I need to paint it and everything. And I need to obviously label what these three are, which I do know, they are written down. I just need to make a proper plate for it there. But I've bought these switches cheap as a pack of 8 off of Amazon, and yeah, does the job. And these are all isolating sections for the layout. So you've got the station short, which I've now put in an isolation section here, so that trains can run around their train and sit in the station whilst the goods train comes in. Siding. The siding now is fully isolated because from there's a cut in the track there, so a loader can park anywhere on the siding. Engine shed, obviously, that is from there to there, so anything can sit in there. This one is the sector plate, so you can lock a train over there. This one here is the station, which goes here, if it doesn't focus. Now this one is purely because, and the only reason I've done, is I might be getting a rail bus, which instead of going into the main station taking up a main line, it can come in and then run up into the short end of the station. But not only that, it means that if I want to, I can have 2 trains, one there and one in the engine shed, and one just sat waiting in the station. Excuse me. And this one here is for the goods line, so I've labelled this main line, goods line, and this section along here between that point and the signal to be isolated, so a goods train can sit there waiting at the station before it returns its journey whilst the passenger train comes in. And the reason I've literally done these switches is for operational just enjoyment of myself and for people at the show. I can have multiple trains running, and because I use this controller, I don't need to bother with DCC or anything. And also, if people remember from some of the videos that I did previously on this layout, is there used to be 3 switches here, old big block switches, that I have now replaced for obviously nicer, newer, small ones that used to run the sector plate. There was a switch for the lighting, which now I've done away with, and it's literally just powered by removing or adding batteries, so that all works. And there was one obviously for the siding, and that was it, but I've wanted more, I've added more. And if you didn't know, this wire here is what operates the sector plate. If I can just get it into focus, that's what operates that. Nice and simple, but effective and works. Obviously we've got our point levers here. There's actually going to be 2 more added, so there'll be another 2 slots taken up. Obviously 1 for the engine shed, and this is probably the first time on the video, but there'll be 1 here for the point in the fiddle yard. So when I'm operating, I can literally sit here, flip all the switches, and I don't have to worry about anything. And then, yeah, my main focus now is on the fiddle yard for track work. As you can see, it's literally just bits of offcuts of track. Again, the whole purpose of this layout was to do it on a budget, so I'm using what I've got left. Bit of end-gauge track, end-gauge point, and it works absolutely fine, obviously, to the same gauge. and that's the chassis I was on about to make a trailer out of, but it requires a lot of work. So I want to make it realistic as possible. And there's some bushing there left over. But yeah, so obviously there'll be a point motor there. One switch in there, another one on the other side. They'll all be color-coded as well. I'm going to color-code each lever so I know which point is which. That'll just help me out for the show so I don't get confused. But yeah, so that's what it looks like from the operating side. And I think that obviously this still needs to be covered up as well. I haven't forgotten. I think it looks very effective and looks the way that I wanted it to, and looks very and is getting near the point now where I'm happy to present it at shows. Obviously, it's not a show coming up, so I need to get. That's why I've now got the solder out ready to solder some bits of track on for the fiddle yard and get the 2 point motors in ASAP. Which they'll be done within the next sort of week to 2 weeks, and then it's not long then until the show. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to, guys, in the past since the last video. Working on that engine shed area and doing a hell of a lot of soldering and wiring, because every one of these switches, obviously I've had to wire 2 sets of wires to each to the rail, etc., to isolate it. So yeah, if you have enjoyed, guys, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think and leave any ideas that you may have for the layout. And until then, until I touch you next time, bye for now.